Good evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to everyone. I'm Karen Passion, the fundraiser at the Cart Horse Protection Association, and you are watching the very first episode of Coffee with Cart Horse. So please grab your beverage of choice and enjoy the next 45 minutes with us. Due to COVID, we basically have had to think of innovative ways of raising funds, and this is how Coffee with Cart Horse was inspired. We will be hosting several episodes going forward, talking about everything equine. But before we get started, I just want to talk about a few housekeeping rules. During the interview, you are very welcome to ask questions and pop them in the chat box. At the bottom of your webinar, you will see a chat icon. You can just click on that and pop it in the questions. If you are on a cell phone during this webinar, at the bottom of your screen, you'll see 3 dots, and you can click on that and also click on the chat icon and put your questions in. After the interview, we will be doing a Q&A session. And if you want to direct a question specifically at one of Penny or Cabello, you're welcome to put up your hand in the hand box at the bottom of the webinar, and our technician will unmute you and you can speak to us. So without further ado, let's meet our guests for this evening. Tonight we will be interviewing Penny Ward from World Horse Welfare and Cabello Nkani, who is the clinic advisor at the Lesotho Equine Welfare Project. Hi Penny, welcome to Coffee with Cart Horse. We are absolutely delighted to have you guys join us tonight. And you are also no stranger to us, because World Horse Welfare also supports our amazing project, the Cart Horse Protection Association. To start, please tell me what amazing work does World Horse Welfare do in Southern Africa?
Hi, Karen. Thanks very much for asking Cabello and I to join you. To be part of this first session this evening. I'm very glad to see so many people online, so thanks very much for asking us to be with you. World Horse Welfare is an international charity based in the UK. It was established in 1927, and we work to improve the lives of working horses and donkeys around the world and to improve the horse-human partnership. At the moment, we work with about 70,000 working equids in 16 different countries.
Wow.
In Africa, we work on projects in 4 different countries, Senegal, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Lesotho. These projects provide a combination of advice, treatment, training, owner education, that kind of thing.
Brilliant, wow. I also believe that World Horse Welfare works very closely with the University of Lesotho on the Lesotho Equine Welfare Project. Can you please tell us a little bit more about this awesome project?
Yes, World Horse Welfare started working with the National University of Lesotho in about 2017 to co-design and implement the Lesotho Equine Welfare Project.
Yes.
And we work with a team of staff who are based in the Animal Sciences Department in the Faculty of Agriculture. And the aim of the project is to sustainably improve equine productivity through better welfare and management practices. The project works in about 5 districts and 18 different sites. And the activities include primary healthcare clinics for equine, training of government extension staff in equine health and welfare, training community-based farriers, and we also support a very large annual vet clinic in one of the sites.
Brilliant. And then also one of the most inspiring projects that you guys have is working with horse owners who transport medical supplies to and from clinics in the remote areas of Lesotho. Please give us some more insight how these equines actually save lives.
Mm. Yes, it's a very interesting collaboration. The project works with a human development organization called Riders for Health, and they provide transport logistics to the Ministry of Health, specifically transporting medical samples and results to and from the labs in the country, to and from different health posts and clinics. In very remote areas of the country, you'll see that the map, the purple areas are all above 2,000 meters, and
Wow.
often there's a very limited road infrastructure. So they've got a system in 4 different sites where they use horse riders to transport the medical samples. They meet motorcyclists along the road, but when they off-road, obviously it's relying on equine to deliver the samples and the results. And in 2019, they transported about 6,000 samples during the year. So it's about 600 samples a month. So it's quite a high volume.
Sorry, Penny, you've got
yes.
a bit of a ruffle there with your audio. It's just a bit.
Okay.
Let's see.
Is that better?
Much better. Awesome.
Is that better?
Thank you.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Sorry. Technology. A little gremlin.
I know, technology.
Yes. So we work with riders in 4 sites. They own approximately 22 equine, and they transported these 6,000 samples a year approximately. Most of the samples are viral load blood samples, which are critical for monitoring HIV treatment and keeping people healthy. Of course, they now also transporting COVID tests.
I was going to ask, that was the next thing, COVID.
Yes, yeah. So they transport whatever the clinics require. The riders are paid for this service by the project. They also get equipment. That little backpack is it's like a cooler bag, so it protects the cold chain for the samples. And they also get training in transporting hazardous medical samples. So they play a really critical role in ensuring access to healthcare and treatment for people in these very remote sites. And so obviously ensuring the health and the welfare of their equine is very important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kibelo, welcome. You too are a very familiar face, as you attended our Train the Trainer course that we're offering at the Cart Horse Protection Association in Epping. And obviously due to COVID, you're now doing it online. But welcome. As the regional clinic advisor, what are the main challenges for these horse owners in Lesotho?
Thank you very much, Karen. Thank you, Warata Solfe, Cart Horse, and everyone, and the participants, and everyone who's joining us today. I feel honored and privileged to be one of the guest speakers about the project, the amazing project that we've been doing years in, years out in Lesotho. The question, challenges on owners, especially in Lesotho. Remember, Lesotho is a high terrain, it's a highlands area. So horses are the main source of transport and the main source of everything. So in the areas that we work in, horse can do everything. You can pay even lobola with it. It's been eaten, it's a transport, it's everything for everyone to access any medical supplies or anything that they require in a household. So now with horses, the challenges that the owners find is one of the welfare of the horses. Welfare, I'll be talking about they don't have an access to certain things like medical care, tech, and they are knowledgeable with wounds and wound treatment. So that's where I find most of the challenges, and that's where we get in and as wild welfare in this project.
Wow, that sounds pretty amazing. Sorry, Kabelo, Penny touched on the project earlier on, Riders for Health. What services do you provide these horse riders?
The most important thing that Warrior Welfare believe in is in education. So whatever that we're doing, we're running. Remember, we are running a sustainable project here. So the first thing that we do is education, and we help the riders. I remember Penny touched on the horses being transporting medical supplies, HIV tests, and other ARVs to people up in the mountains. So they need a horse, and that's where Warrior Welfare and us, we fit in, and we help the horses. We make sure their horses are in good health. Now they've got challenges of having farrier and the shoes because they are going on hard terrain in the mountains. So they need shoes, they need farrier work, they need wound treatments, they need wound care, and everything that you can think of that got to do with horses. Management, basic husbandry, that's us, that's how we help them.
Great. Penny, we have chatted extensively about this amazing annual vet clinic run by the Samongkong Hospital Project, where an incredible 10,000 animals are seen to annually, and also not only equine. Do you want to unmute, Penny? There we go.
Sorry.
No worries.
Thank you. Yes, it's amazing. We came across this enormous clinic in Samongkong very soon after we started working with the university, and it's run by the Samongkong Hospital Project, and it takes place annually every September for 1 week. And it's attended by 10,000 animals. So
unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it's enormous. It's huge.
Sure.
So cattle, sheep, goats, dogs, small animals, and of course horses and donkeys.
Sure.
Over the years, it's grown quite a lot to involve quite a wide range of different stakeholders, but particularly on the equine side. So you've got the Samongkong Hospital Project team, final year vet students at Onastuput come for practical exercises, obviously a whole range of vets that are specialized in livestock. There's a saddler. And then since we joined the team and started supporting the clinic, we also obviously include the university project team, government extension staff that we've trained in equine health and welfare skills, the university students, fourth years in the Department of Animal Sciences. We've also trained community-based farriers, so the farriers in the region, in the area will also attend. And in 2019, we were really lucky to get the support of 2 Beaver Trust vets who came all the way from the UK to support the equine side of the clinic. So that was fantastic. It increased our capacity to do small surgery, geldings, enormous. It was incredible. So, and to have specialized equine vets like that was amazing. So we do, combination of surgeries as well as general primary health, wound care, those kinds of things. Yeah.
I actually did a bit of research, and there's actually a Facebook page on the annual vet clinic, and the students you just see are so involved, and the things that they're learning and everything out in the open. I mean, you don't have like surgeries, like you normally do. It's all done there in the open, and injections, and it's amazing that they actually get through to see all those 10,000 animals. Brilliant. Like I said, an absolutely amazing initiative. But now, Kabelo, how on earth do you manage the annual vet clinic that happens in 5 days logistically?
Like as you've mentioned, every year in year out, it's a new year going forward when we finish the other year. So like in 2019 when we finished, we sat down immediately after the clinic and said where to improve. We look at where is it, because as Penny has mentioned, we've got 10,000 of
Sure.
animals there, and then we look at the following year where to improve, and you find people still looking for our services. Then that's when we sit down, and my involvement there, that will be logistically, whereby I sit down with Chris from University of Pretoria, and I'm involved with him the logistics side of the clinic, those 10,000 of animals. Now remember, we've got students who are coming in. Most of them, they are so green. They hardly held on the equines and other animals, so they just come there and they are still looking chuku chuku. So they just, when they got there, that's where our involvement comes in, and to help them go through the mentorship, handling of equines, because you'll find some of them, they will wrestle equines, and equines are,
oh my goodness,
you don't use crushes for equines. We have to handle them in the right manner where they feel safe. So that's when we show them, even if you look at the screen there, when they on the top right of the screen, you'll see helping the students, showing them to do an oral injection. It's one of those things that you look at and say, okay, let's help them. And also the advising of students, house owners, and everyone involved, arrangement of everything. Because remember, we've got 5 days, we've got 10,000 of equids. Each day you'll find, the first 2 days, they are very, very busy days. You'll find everyone is everywhere, but then you need to calm down everyone, have that experience that you need to make sure that everyone is doing what she's supposed to do. Yeah.
It must be an absolutely great experience for these students to actually go up there and experience firsthand how to basically take care, to castrate, to inject equines. So first-hand experience, I think it's amazing, and from the the pictures that I've seen, they all look so enthusiastic and very, very happy and grateful to be there. Now, Kabelo, with this annual vet clinic, what are the most unusual veterinary cases that you've seen over the past years that you can share with us?
Remember, the clinic is held in Samongkong. Samongkong is over 2,800 meters above sea level. It's up in the mountains, no access to any better hospitals, anything. So that's when we find cases like the eye problems, whereby we have done the eye operations with our capable vets that came
right there in the fields.
In the field, out in the open, and they were just gonna do it. They did eye ops. We've got subquites where we had some subquite operations where some of them, they were on the eyes, some of them were on the sheath of the penis. So these are some of the things that students learned a lot from it, and especially the fifth year students from the University of Pretoria, and the master students from the National University of Lesotho, and the fourth year students from the National University of Lesotho. They learned a lot, and they were given opportunity to participate in and to give those injections, those local anesthetics, those tetanus injections. They were hands in, hands on, and with our capable vets that comes in. Yes. Remember, Penny mentioned that Beaver Trust did fly in 2 vets in the 2019, whereby we've got veterinary surgeons specializing in equines from UK coming in to help in. And one thing I liked about it is that they also came into the university to give lectures also. So it was one of the privileges that Waralt also gave to this project.
That's amazing, Kabelo. And do the horse owners and cattle owners and people in Lesotho, do they know that September every year that's what's going to happen? How do you basically communicate with them to know that this is happening for those 5 days?
Remember, we run a project in Lesotho whereby we in Lesotho every month. So every second month we in the district, in the area of the place. So we arrange the meeting. We Samongkong Hospital Trust have someone already who's staying there, who's already hands-on with the project. They are running a missionary church there. So we are in touch with them, the logistics side of things. And we work with the Ministry of Agriculture. So in the area, we work in the area of the Ministry of Agriculture. So the message to align the message, but already it's a culture to the people of Samongkong in Lesotho that every year in September school holidays, there's a big, massive clinic there. So it's one of those things that you don't even have to say anything anymore because it's been growing. Like in 2019, we even had two separate areas, clinics in two separate areas, not in one area, because we realized that we need to access the other people. Some would come as far as 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers with a sick horse coming to get it veterinary care. So that's when he said, no, for those coming from far, we'll go to them and arrange another site. So last year, basically, we were going to have a third site, but then because of COVID-19, we couldn't. So it's a matter of our reputation speaks volume for us. We no longer, as even if we convey the message, but the reputation is there, and the horses and the people we touch, it's evident.
Sure. Kabelo, you've been involved with this project since 2014. What significant changes have you seen in the horse owners as well as the horses?
When we got in 2014, Warad Solfair were already working in Lesotho, but then remember this time around we changed how we were working. We are starting to believe in education. Warad Solfair said we believe in education. Let's run a sustainable project. How about we educate people? So educating people. Remember, even in South Africa, even in Zimbabwe, wherever we work in, to have the horses taken care of by the donors or the Ministry of Agriculture is something weird or awkward. So now when we got in and we said, no, we're going to give veterinary care to your horses, people were like, what? That's something odd. And from that moment on, some were skeptical of bringing their horses in, bringing their donkeys in, because they didn't know what you're gonna do. You know, when someone from South Africa comes in and say, "I'm gonna help you guys,"
exactly. They just
have
no idea where you're coming from.
So we had to work with their mind first, change of behavior, and that's what we saw: change of behavior in them. Anyway, if someone helps my horse, and I love my horse, it brings food in the table for us, and it helps us to go to a clinic, to school, everywhere. So I'll accept the person. So change of behavior was one of the main key things. And in Samongkong, when we started working there in 2016, I still remember very well with Penny, we had almost in 9 out of 10 horses that came in had saddle sores, the wound on the leg. And that was in 2016, but then in 2019, when we were working in, and I remember Vicky from Morato Solfair in UK used to come in. When she came in, she was even also surprised to see that we no longer have those saddle sores. But what happened was the main thing behind it. Yeah, the main thing behind it was the education. We ran a sustainable project. We said, we're no longer going to do things for you. We're going to show you how to treat your own saddle sore. We're going to clean it with clean water, use from everything that they could find in their own household. And that they took into accountability, and they did that. And for that, it was a success. That's why the Lesotho project still remains a success in most of the areas that Warado Solfair works in.
Sure. What an amazing story. Wow. Penny, lastly, another question for you. Why is the annual clinic so very successful?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we've tried to work very hard on is sustainability, so that it's not just a once-off event.
Sustainability is key.
That there's something backup and systems in place to deal with these equine issues throughout the year, not just for 1 week in September. So we try very hard and work with existing systems, particularly the government extension systems. I think one of the significant things about the clinic is that it's really put horses and donkeys on the map.
Yes.
Usually it's cattle, sheep, and goats. Horses and donkeys are not regarded as productive livestock. They often missed out in training curricula and development programs. Everyone focuses on cattle, sheep, and goats, and so this is very important clinic and deals with all livestock, but particularly horses and donkeys. So we do try and work with the extension staff. They base in the community. They're there all the time, so they've been provided with training. So if we have done complicated surgeries, there's at least somebody on the ground who can check and who can sound an alert if there is a problem, and somebody can go and follow up afterwards. We also, Cabello also mentioned that he has regular primary healthcare clinics in the community, at least every 2 months in there, and can deal with other issues that come up. And then, of course, having quite good connections with the local community, with the local team.
So
they're
important.
Very supportive. Yeah, they're very supportive, and that's so important to get the word out, to get support, to
and building
have
those relationships.
Yes, yeah. So it's involving a range of stakeholders. I think that the different technical expertise that's also involved in the clinic, which has expanded over the years, is also providing a much more holistic set of services. So involving the farriers, having a saddler, having extra vets, having the students even, and you're able to accomplish a lot more during the clinic itself. And I think focusing a lot on owner education. It's not just about vaccinating a horse and then sending it off.
No,
there's a lot of engagement. Yeah, a lot of engagement with the owners. If there's any remedies or talking through simple home remedies that can be used to treat wounds, keep things clean, try and head off problems before they start. That's also an important part of the clinic. So it's not just the surgery and the treatment. And then having a really experienced team at different levels with people that are permanently based in Samongkong is also really important. I always think it's a bit of organized chaos on the Monday or on the Sunday. But by Monday evening, Tuesday morning, we sort of hit our stride, and there's a system in place. And
yes, of course.
And it's really encouraging to be able to contribute to something that's really working extremely well. And
I was going to say that's working, sustainable.
Yeah. Yes, and we have feedback sessions and try and add each time to improve the clinic for next year. Unfortunately, as Cabello mentioned, we were unable to do the 2020 clinic due to COVID. The borders were closed and we weren't able to go in. So we really hoping this year we will be able to. But we just try and use the systems that are in place and continue doing as much as we can.
Awesome. Well, what a wonderful project, Penny, and also what I love about the project as well is that it's created jobs, businesses, training for people, farriers, saddlers, and you go back to continue to train these amazing people that work in these remote areas and look after the precious equines that we love so dearly. Thank you so much. Well, Penny and Cabello, thank you for your time, for sharing your stories, and for the great work that we've seen that the Lesotho Equine project has been doing. And it is also so very heartwarming to see that communication, partnership, and education can make such a huge impact on these precious, hardworking horses. And also to see that in Lesotho, they finally have earned the right to be valued, and also that their vital role is being appreciated. And that's all due to the work that Wildor's Welfare and Ukabelo that have been doing over the years. And that's just, I just highly recommend and salute you guys. But thank you so much once again.
Thanks.
Please go to www.worldhorsewelfare.org for more information about the amazing work that they do worldwide. And then please join us again on the 11th of March, where we will be interviewing Philippa du Toit, which runs the Blind Love Equine Project. And she has been raising awareness about the plight of blindness in horses in South Africa since 2011. We look forward to seeing you then. Keep safe and take care. Good night, everyone.
Sorry, Karen, we have got a question in the chat.
Sorry, I forgot about the question. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Not a problem.
Goodness.
So we've got a question from Sabina Koch, and she's asking, do we have enough farriers?
Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Karen. In our clinics, we do have about 3 farriers in 2019. We had we remember as a project we are running also training and other mentoring projects. So we trained 2 farriers, and we already had one farrier who already was trained by Warato Solfe in 2008. So he was helping us with the training. So he trained another 2 for that area. So we had 3 farriers, of which the question is, do we have enough? And the question is, I don't think they are enough for the whole 5 days, because some of the farriers, they will complain about their backs at the end of the day, because up in the mountains there we've got so many foot problems and hoof problems basically. So yeah, we don't have enough.
And then another question we've got from Aileen Pipers. How many people does the Lesotho equine? Oh wait, How many people does the project employ?
I think
Penny.
Yeah, there's a core team of about 5 people at the university, and then we obviously augment that through the community-based farriers that we've trained and the extension staff as well. So when we're running clinics in a certain area, it's quite a collaborative effort. And then we also have the head of equines at the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, who is wonderful, and he's a trained farrier as well, and he plays a huge role helping us build a relationship with government.
Thanks so much, Penny. I think we have some more questions.
Yeah, Jolise Jordan. Can anyone get involved with the project veterinary wise, or do you guys only use vet students and vets?
Yes, yeah. Cabello, do you want to answer that?
We not only veterinary. Remember, we don't only offer veterinary care, Jolise. We also offer tag and saddle. My former lecturer to University of Technology, she's a saddler, so she's involved. So there's another investor that's involved, but it's her only coming, helping with tag and other stuff. So we always happy to welcome everyone who can come and help us. Last year we were supposed to go up with a farrier, actually from Cut Horse, and yes, it was actually going up to Lesotho with him and Diana. Yes, and Diana, we were supposed to go also with Diana to Lesotho to come and help us with this big clinic, but because of COVID, we couldn't go up with them. Otherwise, Penny can add wherever I think I missed.
Yes, you know, I think anyone would be welcome to contribute. Usually on the Facebook site they announce the arrangements beforehand. and anyone with good equine knowledge and skills would be welcome.
I've then got a question from Anna-Marie van Zyl. A rough guess, what proportion of the equids seen are donkeys?
It's the vast majority. There are a lot more donkeys than horses. Cabello, do you know more precise numbers?
Remember, in Lesotho, we've got 3 regions. We've got the low area, the lowlands, they call it the lowlands. We've got the foothills, which is the middle part, and we've got the highlands. So the donkeys in the highlands are used vastly to collect firewood, they send them to the shops and to buy things. And I was amazed to see a donkey being sent to a shop. They just hit it with a stick and it goes there straight directly on itself. And it gets there, they offload, they take the money from it and they put whatever that it's been sent to do, and they hit it back with the nice sticks, make it back, and it goes back home. So I would say in a clinic, out of 10 equids, 6 would be donkeys, 4 would be horses, but it depends with area to area. Some areas would find donkeys are more, some would find horses are more. So I could say if the question is posed on basically on the clinic itself, out of 10, you will find 4 donkeys and 6 horses.
Thank you. I'm going to unmute Diana now. She's going to ask a question. Diana, unmute yourself, please.
Hi, Penny. Hi, Cabello. Diana from Cartos. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Diana.
I hope you guys are doing well. Yes. Thank you all as well, Cabello, for what you do. I've actually got a few questions, Cabello. The one is for you. Do you not know our Minister of Agriculture? Because it seems that the government is extremely involved in this specific project, or with the equine owners. That's one. So if you don't know him, best you get to know him as soon as possible, so that he can get involved in so that South African Minister can get involved like he does. And then the second question is also for Cabello. Cabello, what is Lesotho, do they have an animal protection act like we have? And have you seen a very bad form of abuse? And you can answer, and then I will ask Penny her question, if you want.
Okay, thank you, Diana. If I remember the question well about the first question, you said, do I know the Minister of Agriculture in Lesotho, or do you mean in South Africa?
In South Africa. You want him to get involved in South Africa, yeah.
I know the MEC, not the agriculture, very well. I know him, only to see on TV, but then the MEC in Gauteng, I know him very well. But otherwise, the second question was, what was it again? Please come again. It was the APA.
If they have a similar Protection Act in Lesotho, yeah. And is it enforced? How is it enforced, etc.?
Remember, the APA, for everyone who doesn't understand it, it's the Animal Protection Act. So in Lesotho, they do have Animal Protection Act. But then remember, just like in Zimbabwe, in areas that we work in and I'm directly involved, you've got the socio-economic issues. And even when the APA is there, but then because of the socio-economic issues, even if the horse is lame, but the person needs food from the shop or needs medical attention, he or she will use it. And remember, normally the Animal Protection Act, it comes second from the Human Rights Act. The person can be deprived of food because of a horse being abused. That's how they feel. But then for someone who here doesn't have a big heart, going into Lesotho, even with me, for the first time going to Lesotho in 2014, I cried a lot because of the certain things that I saw, because I used to go into pounds and see animals dying in the pounds and all those kind of very horrendous issues. And I didn't have any strength or courage to go in. And I had someone who has experience with Lesotho. He was here there with me and comforted me. But then you need to have a bigger heart. You need to be strong to work in Lesotho. It somehow kills you inside. You ended up having to get used to some certain situations once you start working there. So yes, it's not easy going to Lesotho in those countries, but because you can see there's poverty and also there are socio-economic issues. There's also HIV, which is high. So that's why the involvement with Riders for Health, which are dealing with medical samples, ARVs, and us dealing with horses, it's a combination of everything. So just like Warata Solfae motto when they say touching people's lives through their equines, it's one of those things that you're touching people's lives now through their equines and you're changing people's lives through their equines.
Understand. I suppose that's why your education is so important. Penny, can I ask a question to you? I haven't seen you for a long time. Penny, how long do you think is World Horse Welfare still be able to assist with this project? As long as if it is a success, they will continue to support this project, or what do you think?
Yes, we obviously believe in building partnerships with local partners and organizations, universities, animal welfare organizations, but particularly human development organizations as well. So as long as there's a need, there's progress, impact, and that we feel we're able to support the work in country and make a contribution, I think there's a role to collaborate with different stakeholders.
That's absolutely amazing, and thank you again. And I really hope I will see you at that Samongkong veterinary clinic at some stage. I hope COVID do leave us at some stage. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Bye-bye, bye-bye, Kabelo.
You need to be a lot.
Those are all the questions for now.
Excuse me, brilliant. Thank you so much for those interesting and insightful questions. And I thought we would have technical difficulties, but I clearly forgot to ask the questions. But thank you so much for participating and joining us this evening. And yeah, if you need any more information about anything we've chatted about, please contact me. It's karen@carthorse.org.za. And if there's no more questions. And like I said, until then, we'll see you on the 11th of March. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening further. Bye now. Bye.
Thanks, Karen.
Bye.
Bye.